All right, so I am live, and this is going to be the broadcast for the Apple Spring Forward event. Actually, let me just go ahead and jump to my camera really quickly, see how this looks. I don't know if this will work. Let's see here. Whoops. Okay, let me turn off screen sharing. So, okay, this is going to be a work in progress. All right. So this is going to be the live event coverage for the Apple Spring Forward event. This will be over the Apple Watch specifically. And yeah, this is going to be just our coverage as far as, opinions and commentary throughout the actual event. Now, this event is a little bit different because the product in itself has been announced. It's been talked about in the past Apple keynotes. We know what the Apple Watch looks like. We know the different models, Apple Sport, Apple Watch Edition. It's more the intricate details that we don't know. It's more technical specs, prices, price point. That's a really big thing to know. And things like release dates. We don't have an official release date, which we're expecting to see all of that and hear about that today, and maybe some additional stuff. So in this case, again, this event is going to be live streamed via Apple site in about, give or take, 20 minutes or 10 minutes, actually. 10 a.m. Pacific time. It's 2 a.m. here, as it always is in Japan when I cover these events. In about 30 minutes, I'm going to be having a guest, Mobile Phone 2003 or Duncan, be joining me. If you're watching this video post event and you're watching this to try and get a stream of the Apple event, that's not what this video is. I'm not just rebroadcasting the stream. This is a coverage and commentary over the event. You will be seeing the event as I watch on my desktop. But again, this isn't meant for you. If you want your own personal stream, you can go to apple.com and watch it there. This is a live coverage commentary expressing my thoughts live as everything gets announced. So yeah, that being said, it's just going to be more laid back. I have my tea here, and I'm kind of ready to go here. I literally just got in the house about an hour ago. Yeah, excited about the event. Let me open up the chat here. I'm going to stay on my camera for now until the actual event starts. I didn't prepare enough. I had set up the event, but as far as the promotion goes, it's really just going to be right now. I just posted out the link to Twitter. I uploaded the video on the channel. It really is just going to be whoever happens to assemble in. And this is going to be interesting because, typically with our last event of the iPhone 6, we got 19,000 live stream viewers, which is the most I've ever gotten while covering an Apple event. Obviously, the iPhone is a really big announcement. With something like this, one, it's a product category that not a lot of people have an interest in or know about, the smartwatch category. Very, very new, so to say, as far as modern popularity. And beyond that, it's just something that, like I said, it's something a lot of people know about, or it's something that's been known for quite a while now that Apple has announced an Apple Watch. So this event really is just going into the detail as far as, everything that I just mentioned: price, announcement, release date, all that stuff. So again, if you're watching this on YouTube, you're watching this live, I thank you, for spending the time. I'll be doing some Q&A afterwards and answering questions throughout the chat. Through this video. And of course, if you want to get the actual, just the recap version of this, I upload every time I cover these events, I upload a full recap afterwards with more concise and in detail and all that stuff. Okay, so yeah, I'm getting ready for this event here. It's always a scurry. It's always these events. The thing is here, being in Japan, one of the drawbacks is being in the time zone wise, it's always 2 a.m. here. And then I always have to, kind of stay up afterwards to produce content and all of that. And it's always a crazy day. Anytime there's an Apple event, definitely one of our most traffics, as far as traffic goes, one of the most visited days are centered around Apple events. Okay, let me just, and then I typically blow up Twitter here. So if you follow me on Twitter and are annoyed by that, I suggest you mute for the time being. Okay, so let's see here. Live for the event. And coverage and join chat. I'm still getting used to this whole Google Hangout / live streaming thing because there's a group chat here, and I think that's only related to. I don't think I'm even seeing your guys' YouTube comments right now. Nope, I'm not. Okay, yeah. See, that's a thing. It's okay. Enable and disable this real quickly here. Okay, so there is a chat. How does this work? Test. If I type in test, does it go to my Yeah, I don't even know how this works because I have a group chat here, but I think the group chat is only for the Google Hangout, I think. As far as like the live comments go, I think it's a completely separate page. So I got to have my own stream up at the same time. Because last time during the Apple iPhone 6 event, I had over 19,000 viewers in there. And for the first like half of the event, I didn't see the comments coming in because YouTube wasn't showing them to me live. Like I had to refresh the page to see the incoming comments. And I just missed a lot of questions and I felt bad about that. Anyways, yeah, we're live now, and the event will be starting very, very shortly here, about, again, under 10 minutes to go. And I don't know why, for some reason, the stream seems a little bit laggier on when I start screen sharing. So hopefully it's not as bad when I'm sharing the screen there. So we'll see how that goes. Thing about Google Hangouts, I'm using Google Hangouts because it's easier because it uploads it to YouTube right away. I have, what is it, FME, the Flash Media Encoder, but that just makes it really difficult. See, if I screen share this, it looks kind of dodgy to me. I don't know why. It just looks really dodgy. I don't know if I doubt that's my internet. I don't know. Normally when I do these type of streams, it's more fluid, but we'll see how it goes. Anyways, like I said, it's kind of funny because I never know how to start these streams because they're very much in the beginning, just me talking to myself. 2 viewers right now, so hello to the other viewer, but that's how they start out, because it's unlike a video where I'm like it's I get to set everything up and record it and edit it. A live stream is just literally you are tuning in to the live portion of it. I started the stream a little bit early just to prep everything, but obviously if you're watching this in post and you want to jump ahead, feel free to. I don't blame you. If you want to jump to like, maybe I'd say literally 10 minutes from this point right now, if you're watching, you can jump 10 minutes ahead if you don't want to just see me, what do you call that? Mess around for 10 minutes till the stream starts, because it's different when you're actually in the live stream and you're interacting versus if you're watching it later on. You can easily just jump ahead to the part that you actually want to see. Another reason a lot of people will tune into this event, just because some users I know cannot actually interact with the stream, for the reason being that Apple does only limit it to, I think, Safari browsers on Windows or Mac, and you either have to be on a Mac or you have to have a Safari browser, as far as I'm concerned. So that's obviously one of the benefits. You can tune into live streams. I still think it's a little bit more difficult for Windows users, I believe. You can also watch it on iOS devices, so that's also a thing. Again, I'm going to try and close out as many applications as I can here and just save some space, because I have a lot of things open right now that I don't really need open at the time of this video, but I don't know what a lot of them are. So yeah, close this. But yeah, now I'm talking to fill time as I mess around here. I also am uploading okay, that video is actually uploaded right now. I uploaded a video to, what I do is I upload a video to the channel announcing that I'm actually live streaming. So for you viewers out there, you can actually, what do you call that? You can actually get like it's a way for me to put it into your subscription boxes for the people who are actually subscribed, so they know I'm streaming. And then I usually remove that video. It's like a temporary upload. I'll typically remove it and then as soon as the event closes. And the event itself is like rush hour, like like getting the stream up, especially like with events like these where I was less prepared, to be honest. Well, I got a message. I'm going to I don't want to make sure that I'm gonna go on and sleep about dude. I'm gonna say 1 p.m. and a time, my time. If you're down, no, sure. Okay, I miss live streaming though. For those of you, again, this is so like live streaming. It feels, I miss it because it feels so new again, or it feels very funny to be knowing that this will be uploaded later on and like you're just watching me mess around here. But For those of you who may have followed my content in the past years, I actually live streamed constantly. I used to, back when I was one of my idols in the tech industry was we got Chris Perillo. I used to live stream 24/7. I had set up a 24/7 live stream on Ustream, and I remember I used to answer like tech response questions while I was like working throughout the day and doing stuff, and it was really fun. And I really missed that level of interaction because it was like you had regulars and yeah, really fun stuff. But I remember when I would like sleep and stuff, I would like put a piece of tape over my webcam just because I was conscious, and I would throw up an image on the thing that said I would be back in a couple hours. Let's see here. I got Twitter open, I got everything open. And for those who are tuning in, Mobile Phone 2003, a very good friend of mine, Duncan Mail, for some of you who may know him on YouTube. Somebody I was a huge fan of his content, somebody I followed for a long time, and we've done some work together throughout the years. Actually, Digital Dojos itself was an idea conceived by him and me and some other people. And that he will be joining, but he's going to be a little bit late. I think he said about half an hour late, so he'll come into the event later on and share his thoughts as well. 6S plus. All right, but whoa. Okay, my phone is going crazy. All right, so we still have we have 5 minutes till the event goes live, and then I'll swap over to the feed here. I don't know how well, for some reason, I don't know what Google Plus is doing, but we're gonna jump over. We'll jump over to this window in a bit right here, and I know that's kind of small, but again, I can't just. A lot of people want me to just focus on the actual stream event and not show my camera and things of that nature, but I can't, like I literally can't, for copyright reasons, just rebroadcast or stream, because that will get the video taken down, obviously, and all that stuff. All right, so we have some viewers, and I just got a tweet from my is that my sister? She's in the stream. Hello to you if you're watching. I appreciate it. Oh, she's at the event. Wow. What the? That's amazing. That's great. She's so okay. Oh man, hang on, I gotta. What? That's great. So my sister, who works for, that is awesome. Sorry, totally lost track. I got some more viewers in here. My sister, who works for CBS in San Francisco, is actually at the event. So that's like I know she covers tech stuff. Oh, that's great. She's actually at the event. That's really cool. Sorry, the phone back here is going crazy. My Galaxy phone, or Samsung, yeah, S5. Yeah, so she's like physically at the event. That's pretty cool. Anyways, for those of you who are tuning into the stream right now, you can keep interacting along in the comments. There's a chat box there. I think, I don't know how it works per se, but yeah, I should be able to see your comments as they come in. So feel free to interact. Let me see if can I jump over. I can, right? Jump over to the Twitter app, or maybe not. Maybe why doesn't it support the Twitter app? That sucks. This is awesome though. So let me drag this. Maybe I can do this. I really don't know why it doesn't let me focus on the Twitter app. I don't understand Google Plus that much in itself. Anyways, this is my Twitter app. My sister just sent me this. She's at the actual event, so 2 people in the family are covering that. She actually covers the event for CBS. So I mean, obviously that's something else. Yeah, that's awesome. I knew because she does like apps. She covers things of that nature. She covers different things going on in the tech sphere out there. Because obviously San Francisco, very much in the middle of it. But had no idea that she would be at the actual event. That's awesome to hear. That was always one of my dreams to be physically at the event, and beyond that, for me to be at the event, back when Jobs was living, and that was definitely one of my things that I always wanted to be a part of. But obviously, like I said, he passed and all of that, so definitely a bummer. And I still aspire to attend an event. And I don't mind if it's an iPhone event. I don't mind whatever. Like I know like some people get tired of that stuff who've been there a lot, like journalists who've been there a lot. But it's definitely one of my aspirations to go out there and attend one of those events. Just to think like of all the people who I admire who cover the event and the people who are in those. Okay, so notification goes off. The event should be starting. Oh, whoops! I'm on Safari. What am I doing? Sorry. I mean, I'm on Chrome. I'm not even thinking right now. Wow. The event should be starting now, so I should open up Safari real freaking quick here. Okay, so Safari is going up on a Tuesday, literally. Apple.com. Let's switch this out here, and okay, event is a go. Okay, so first off, I have no idea how this is gonna look on camera. I do apologize. I don't know how Google Plus's screen sharing is. Okay, see, this is a funny thing. See, this is where you get the warning about broadcasting and all of that. And another big part of the reason why I don't what do you call that? I do add the commentary, so it falls under fair use and all of that, and I don't rebroadcast parts of the audio and all that, but I will be turning up the speakers a little bit so I can hear it. All right, but yeah, so and with these events, I never monetize this content specifically. These coverage events are never monetized, just to avoid that issue, because yes, there is going to be see, typically you're not even supposed to rebroad. I think you're not supposed to. You're strictly prohibited from making a copy or form rebroadcasting and recording this event without prior written permission or except as may be permitted by law. So fair use is a little different, and there's like really skirting the law when it comes to fair use. So yeah. Okay, so here we go into the event. Let me just quickly, for now, I'm going to focus on that. I never monetize. Whoa. Screen share. Jump to this window here. Okay, so like I said, I know before people go hooting and hollering, like I know that you are not seeing, you're not going to hear it perfectly well. Like that's a part of that's a whole, literally a part of it. The reason why I do this is so you can't hear it, and it's not just a blatant rebroadcast. But here we go. I am, this is the event. The ad is starting up. Looks like they're playing their little intro here. How do I need to, okay. Capture. I really hate Google Plus in its entirety. Okay, so it looks like they're showing up. Is this China? The store in China, probably? All right, let me just make this bigger for my own viewing pleasure, too. All right, so The event is starting. We'll see how this goes here. Okay, I don't know where the chat is. I see we got 6 viewers now. Like I said, for those tuning in, this is just purely a coverage event of, the talking about everything that's going to be announced. I'll be recapping what they say, obviously, in real time. This is not a direct rebroadcast. Again, you can head over to apple.com. But here we go. The event is starting. If you want to watch the stream in itself, you can head over to apple.com, again, like I mentioned. But with that, let's go ahead and listen to what's going on here. So typically, Tim Cook is going to come out and he's going to talk a lot about sales figures. So first. All right.
Of our latest store in Westlake, China. It's in Hangzhou, China. It is an incredible place.
Yeah, they're talking about the China. So that store that they released was in China.
Architecture is amazing with a cantilever second floor. It's absolutely breathtaking, and it's the perfect place.
Settings.
Our products.
Turn camera off. Mute microphone. Invite people. Adjust bandwidth usage.
And this is the way
Auto HD. Let's see how this goes.
With wonderful customers and an amazing team, these stores are really brought to life.
All right, so I mean, typical stuff you'll hear at every beginning of the Apple event. Reiterate on what they've done, what they've been up to, and sales and all that, of course.
6 stores in China in the last 6 weeks alone.
And I got to be taking notes as this actually goes along, so
We have a very
I don't even know where my laptop is. Oh, shady.
We now have 453 stores in 16 countries. These are the best places to discover and explore products and get world-class stores. And that's the reason that over 120 million customers visited our stores last quarter.
All right.
This is phenomenal.
So let me just jump to.
That's a very brief
What's this
update
original?
on
Enhanced?
retail. I am so
It's enhanced.
incredibly
Whoa, that looks really weird. Let me just quickly jump to this just for a little bit here as I talk over this.
Now, we've got a few more reasons for you to visit those stores today. And so I'm going to hop right into that.
Yeah, so he's talking all
Apple
mainly about
TV.
stores.
Customers love to stream their favorite movies, their favorite TV shows, their photos, their music to the big screen.
Touching
We're
up on
offering
a lot of stuff
content
we
from
know.
all of the leading content providers, and we're adding more and more each day. You probably noticed this if you're an Apple TV user. Now, of all the great channels that we have on Apple TV, there's
Yes.
one in particular I'd like to talk about this morning.
Oh, HBO.
That is HBO.
So the idea is that HBO is going to be announcing something called HBO Now for Apple TV, which
We love HBO.
would be a big thing because HBO has 10 of the popular shows out there.
Groundbreaking shows that really become
We're talking about Game of Thrones,
shows like The Sopranos.
Sopranos, of course. Yeah, that was.
Shows like Entourage, and of course, Sex and the City. And coming next month on April
Stores,
12th,
Apple
it's the
TV.
return of Veep. And Silicon Valley. And of course, one of our favorites.
Game of Thrones. That's the show that everybody's pretty much watching HBO for.
Today, we've got the CEO of HBO, Richard Plepler, joining us. He's a friend of ours, and he's got some exciting news about
Oops.
Richard? Thank you.
All right, so right now, as far as what's going on is, this is all about the HBO deal that Apple has been reportedly, in talks with bringing HBO to the Apple TV, which again, right now HBO is one of those. It's going to allow you to get HBO a la carte essentially on the Apple TV, which is great because I know a lot of people who are cable providers or cable users in the States specifically just because they love HBO shows, and now they can get that all exclusively on the Apple TV, which is going to be great for a lot of people, obviously. However, there is no update to the Apple TV, so that's one thing.
You will have access to all our acclaimed original programming, past, present, and future, as well as our unmatched lineup of Hollywood blockbusters. All you need to get HBO Now is a broadband connection and an Apple device. There will be brand new HBO Now channel on Apple TV, so you can enjoy HBO on the big screen, and you can watch HBO on your iPhones and iPads as well. We will introduce our new product in early April for $14.99 a month.
Okay, so they're topping
You will get the first month free and have it in
HBO
time
Now.
for the 12th premiere of our global phenomenon.
$15 a month. Apple TV. Whoa, his mic is hella spiked.
Great content. So I thought that it would be fun for this room and for those watching to have an exclusive look at a brand new Game of Thrones trailer
Oh.
to give you a feel for what I promise will be an extraordinary season. This is
So $15 a month. You're gonna pay through Apple TV, essentially through iTunes, and you'll be able to get their HBO channel and content all via your Apple TV, which is huge. Like you don't have to get that if you really want a cable cut and HBO is really the only channel you watch. Then by all means, and right now they're playing an HBO trailer. Ooh. It's a new Game of Thrones trailer. Okay. Huge Game of Thrones fan.
And that one's on top and on it spins, crushing those on the ground. I'm not going to stop the wheel.
And destroy that.
I'm going to break the wheel.
Yep.
Stannis Baratheon is an army of Castle Black. He means to take the north.
This is the time, and I will risk everything.
Winter is coming.
What's coming with it?
We can learn to live with the wildlings, or we can add them to the army of the dead.
You are the few. We are the many.
We serve the gods, and the gods demand justice.
All right. So right now, again, for those tuning in, they're displaying a new Game of Thrones trailer, which is super exciting. Game of Thrones is coming out, I think, in a couple of days. The new season starting. Okay. And it's obvious that they waited for this to air the new Game of Thrones trailer just for this. So I mean that in itself. Again, for those who tuned in, HBO Now has just been released for the Apple TV, so your Apple TV users can now get it exclusively on your Apple TVs. Let's jump back.
Now, Apple TV has become the category leader.
All right, so back to Apple TV. Sales figures again, 25 million to date thus far. Thank you to everybody who's tuning in right now, as well as those who have been watching or will watch this in post.
So they can take advantage of this great new content.
Let's see if they're going to update
Lowering
yet.
the price today
Oh, wow.
to $69.
Okay, so $30 price cut to the Apple TV as well, to make it more affordable.
If you don't have one yet, now's the time.
Price cut.
That's Apple TV.
TV.
Is the way that you watch television. This is just the beginning. Next up is iPhone. iPhone not only created a category, it created a benchmark by which all other smartphones are measured. iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus are widely considered
See
the
here.
best smartphones in the world. Recently, we sold our 700.
Okay, yeah, 700 million iPhones sold to date. Sales figures, obviously in the beginning.
The iPhone is growing stronger than ever. In fact, if you look at last quarter, we sold at
I mean, this is typically the stuff I know that's boring to a lot of people, and I'm just gonna change back to my camera right now. But you like this. It's all obviously numbers and all that. But the reason this stuff is really crazy, like for those of you who haven't been keeping up with Apple's company, there's a lot of back and forth about Apple, and I understand some people you don't like the products, whatever. But there's no way that you can deny their success. They're the $800 billion company, I believe, right? $800 billion. It's like literally they are the most profitable, or 700 billion plus. It's ridiculous. They are the most profitable company right now, or as far as net worth wise, versus like they're bigger than Google and a lot of other companies combined. It really is amazing, just on a pure business standpoint, the success they've had in the last couple of years. So let me jump back to that real quick.
Now we have over 2,500 banks supporting Apple.
So this is touching on Apple Pay. Apple Pay being the popular NFC service that you can essentially pay with on your new phones. So they're expanding. You can see a lot of the new stores that they've expanded out into. Big retailers, obviously, Target, GameStop, Nike, Apple Store, of course, T-Mobile, just a huge amount of stores here. Did I say Target? I think I might have just read that. I'm not even sure. Let's see.
40,000 of these in the U.S. and plans to have 100,000 by the end of the year.
Okay. So even vending machines now you can pay with your phone. I mean, it's literally, this is nothing like crazy new, especially for somebody like me who, this is essentially NFC is that technology in your phone that not all phones have it. Like my 5S doesn't have it. The S5, I believe, does. You're going to simply touch your device with something to pay for it. That's the same concept with Apple Pay. It will hold your credit cards and other banking information, and you only have to carry one device and just swipe it and essentially and pay. For things like he was mentioning, the vending machine. It's funny because 6 years ago when I had a flip phone here in Japan, that was like a very popular thing. You could pay with your flip phones back in the day, but obviously nowadays it's becoming much more standard and modern.
iPhone is continuing to transform even more parts of our lives.
For those tuning in, I don't know. I think, is there a place where you guys can comment? I hope the comments are enabled. I believe I enabled them for all of you to comment. I can't tell for sure.
Major car brand has committed to delivering CarPlay.
Okay, so now they're elaborating on CarPlay, which is essentially the way for your phone to pair with your car, play music, and so on and so forth.
End of this year, this is only a year after we announced CarPlay. It's unbelievable momentum. HomeKit is changing the way we control our devices at home. And we're working with the leading automation companies, many of which announced that their products will support HomeKit at CES, and even more will roll out through the year. Now, perhaps.
It's interesting. Apple, what I'm getting from the tone right now, which is interesting to me, again, they're just touching up on stuff we know about, but it was the last event. I want to say it was the last event where they really just jumped into everything that they needed to talk about. Like they're very straightforward. They didn't waste any time because they had a lot to talk about when they first announced the watch and the iPads, I believe. This time, it seems that they're taking their time. They're not jumping straight into the Apple Watch event or Apple Watch in itself. But even though that is probably the primary focus of this, meaning we may hear a little bit more. We heard a little bit about the Apple TV. There's speculation around. We'll hear about MacBook Airs. But again, to be determined. Right now, we're just going through the rigmarole that is the beginning of all Apple events.
And to tell you all about this,
yeah, so now we're having somebody else come out and talk about medical research. And this is very uncommon. Typically, Apple has a very set schedule for their events yearly, your iPhone, your iPad, and it's unique to see them do a special event for something like, obviously, a new product that is the watch.
Not what you were expecting, but let me explain. When we were working on HealthKit, we talked to
So they're touching up on HealthKit, which is the iPhone and the iDevice ecosystem that interacts with like tracking fitness, heart rate, things of that nature.
in a process that really hasn't changed in decades. And we thought we could help. One of the biggest challenges researchers have is recruiting. They often have
Okay, so yeah, they're literally going like really in depth with this medical stuff right now. They have a medical researcher out there.
big
Uh,
issue is small
One of my
sample
favorite
size.
things about this event is following alongside in Twitter while I cover the event and seeing other people's reactions and posts. So
The most common way
I think it's always interesting to me to see people's opinions and thoughts live during the keynote. I think I just have to message Duncan, who I should have coming into the live stream in a second here. Go ahead and enable. Again, right now they're literally just touching up on nothing new so far. To recap, I think we have 3 new viewers who came into the stream. All we've heard so far is the update to the Apple TV. They've cut it by $30. It's now $69 or $70. No updates to the set-top box itself. HBO Now, the exclusive HBO service, will be available for $15 a month on the Apple TV, which is really great for those of you who are just HBO fans, Game of Thrones, Veep. Obviously other shows are on there that they're famous for, Sopranos, so on and so forth. So yeah. And beyond that, right now we're just recapping on sales, iPhone sold, research kit, health kit, and all this stuff. So let me just jump back here. And this is cool. This is going to be something that they're building. It says here for, that's cool. So this is over the medical industry and stuff, which can be very obviously is a very big industry in itself.
Now, we didn't build it on our own. We've been working with experts from these institutions for the past year.
This is why I love Twitter. See, medical research is probably the most boring term mentioned at a live Apple event ever, but also the most important, which is very true. Like it's something that you would normally never see at an Apple event. And most people wouldn't pay attention to, but obviously this is very important stuff. And they're doing things, like I said here, they have 5 apps to contribute to help 5 major diseases. So in this case, right now, he's talking about Parkinson's disease, literally, which would make every iPhone owner able to help and contribute to these things here.
And app turns iPhone into a diagnostic tool.
So it automatically turns this thing into diagnostic tools that he's talking about now. Wow, that's great. So
you can say into the microphone.
What he's doing right now, he's showing how you can use the iPhone to test your intervals of tapping, or how long you can hold a vocal note or whatever it may be, and all sorts of tests that can be done just from the iPhone. And this is obviously not something a lot of people think about, most users, but it is obviously a very, very important thing. And it's going to be a big thing for those who can want to help and contribute, obviously. So I want to see if I can see my sister's in this event. She's in the middle row somewhere. I want to see if I can catch her. That would be really crazy.
Like your activity data from your Apple Watch, from your iPhone, or other devices. Researchers believe that exercise can affect.
Okay, so right now they're literally going over a lot of graphs and stuff. I'm just gonna switch back to the camera until something interesting kind of comes up. Right now, touching all on the health kit and research kit. Some new things are announcing as far as research kit and all that, and allowing you to measure and track certain data, which is really, really interesting, obviously.
Right on his or her phone, empowering them to understand and possibly answer.
And it's interesting because, again, a lot of this event was from everybody in the tech industry. It was all about the Apple Watch, but they're coming on talking a lot about some stuff that they're working on, which means that probably the Apple Watch will be the meat of the event, obviously. But nice to see some other stuff right now. They're talking about diabetes and stuff like that, which again, it's a huge deal, obviously, that isn't talked about enough. But with these devices that we use, obviously this is a Samsung device, but we literally have these things in our pockets every single day. It's great that we have things like this, obviously, that will make things allow it to make us easier to contribute to causes and research and stuff like this.
Now this one's available throughout the U.S., but they're doing something really neat in New York City.
Now they're going into Asthma. So let me just switch back here just to showcase the cool applications that they have here that are going to help, again, treat patients with these diseases and all that.
they're actually swabbing city surfaces throughout New York City.
And what's cool on Apple's site, if you head over to Apple, you'll get a play-by-play. This is something they recently started doing, a high-quality timeline essentially that you can share out via Twitter and Facebook and other social networks, kind of snapshots and high-quality photos of what's going on live in the event. So you can always head over to apple.com for that as well.
And for breast cancer, there's been amazing progress in the treatment of breast cancer.
Now they're moving on to breast cancer. So all very, very, very big, obviously, causes and things that affect, obviously, a ton of people. So very interesting to see all this.
At all of those brave women, hoping to help them live a better day. Now, let's talk about something really, really important.
Of course, now getting into, with all this data that's obviously going to be tracked for your medical purposes, privacy is going to be huge. So they're going to touch on that for sure. Basically, you decide, they're saying how your data is shared, and Apple will never see your data. Making it anonymous. So if you don't want your data to be displayed as far as your results in testing, then that's up to you essentially.
We're really excited about ResearchKit, but we thought it'd be great if you heard from the people who've been working with it.
Okay, so they're playing an ad now about ResearchKit.
I've spent a large part of my career focused on a number of different diseases, from obesity, diabetes, heart disease, Alzheimer's, and one of the problems has really been.
You gotta understand, like in the middle of this, like I am taking notes because I always write blog posts following these events. And so they're playing an ad right now, so I guess it's an opportunity for me to flip. I have a live stream going, which I'm consuming. I'm obviously catering to the live stream in itself. I'm tweeting as updates come out. I'm taking notes here because I need to write a post later on as soon as this event finishes. And I'm not into the live blogging because I can't juggle that much. I can't live stream and live blog. So I take notes. That way I can take the time afterwards and write a full recap article to post over at digitaldojos.com. So have all of those going in as well. And then from beyond there, like as soon as I finish the article, I have to shoot a couple of videos regarding the event and get a couple more individual articles. It's a independent network, so I am the content creator as far as, I'm the beginning and end of all things that go through the site here. ResearchKit announced Apple's event. Introducing 5 major apps to help.
Can be used to battle disease. It's really simply amazing.
Concept that I could kick out a survey to patients every day, every week, that would show up on their phone and would actually improve their health and our ability to care for them.
ResearchKit announced that Apple event introducing 5 major apps to help battle diseases around the world. And this really is amazing because if you take this into account, how many people have these phones and have these devices, it really does, for app developers out there, this is going to change the way that you can collect medical research and something that is always something hard to gather and all of that. Whether it's surveys or whatever, you can literally with ResearchKit, it's going to change the game for app developers to develop apps that really do touch people's lives and revolutionize how we collect data and improve health. All of these data obviously goes towards something big, and this is something that I'm really, again, it's one of those gems that most people won't see throughout the keynote, I think.
Research for every condition that's out there, and that just makes it very accessible to patients.
For
Easy for people to participate, better academically.
I want a legacy for my granddaughter. Maybe when she's 25, they'll come up with, oh wow, that research study that was done in 2015, with the iPhone was really key in making a breakthrough on how we can better help asthmatics. She'll say, wow, my grandma was a part of that.
putting
Collect.
the solutions in the hands, literally the hands with an iPhone of the patient. This is the answer. This is exactly where medicine is going.
So right now, it's just a full ad that they're playing currently right now. And the ad is actually just over, so let me flip back real quick. Amazing, amazing stuff here. So let me just flip back here.
We're gonna add the research kit.
700 million iPhones. That's something that was also really overlooked.
Wanted anybody, anywhere, regardless of the platform they're on, to contribute. So we're actually going to make this open source.
Oh, wow. So the announcement here is that Research Kit, they're saying, since that is really a super important thing, obviously, they're going to be making it open source, allowing people to. Let's see here.
And the first 5 apps that you
That's amazing.
will be available today.
Oh, that's great. They will see how open source really this is, but I mean, that's I mean, obviously that's amazing.
That amazing things can happen when you put.
Especially in a field like this where you really need all.
There's a.
I mean, you got to understand this is Apple who's making something open source. Those two terms don't normally go hand in hand, but to see them doing this, especially for something that matters like this much, it's you know, hats off to them, because this is something that you obviously want as much that you can get.
The iPhone continues to change so many things.
And it seems they're going to be talking about the Mac next, so very, very interesting. Meaning we're getting a little bit more than just the Apple Watch in this case.
We are so proud.
I'm gonna shot my message out to Duncan. See where he's at.
Next up,
Okay, so here's the lineup. There's the picture of the lineup now. There's the watch all the way up to the iMac.
this is the strongest Mac lineup we ever have had.
Okay.
We continue to innovate. We continue to lead the industry, and more importantly, we continue to provide the very best experience for our customers.
So they're touching up on the Mac. So probably talk a little bit about sales. Their new iMac that was released last year. About, I think so. We'll probably hear about that. We'll see.
And if you look at notebooks, the numbers are even more telling. Last year, the industry shrank, and the Mac grew over 20%. This is phenomenal. And when you're out in the wild, you will see Macs everywhere now. They're in schools, they're in businesses, they're in coffee shops and airports.
So right now they're all talking about the Macs.
The definition of portability has changed.
Uh-oh. I think we're going to hear a little bit about the MacBook Air. That's my guess. But that might be reaching, so we'll see.
So we challenged ourselves to take everything that we had learned in designing iPhone and iPad and do something incredibly ambitious.
Wait a minute. What's going on here? Reinventing the laptop. Is this? Oh.
And we did it.
Is this a new MacBook Air? All right, so this is something that wasn't heavily rumored, but wait a minute.
You gotta know I'm feeling love. You gotta know I'm
Looks like a Retina display. That's my guess. What? Look at that. Is that? Okay. It's gold. Oh, it's great. Gold neck. That's awesome. I mean, I'm a huge fan of gold. Obviously, it's available in aluminum, silver too, but this is the new MacBook. If you look at it, it looks like an edge keyboard. Larger trackpad comes in gold. Apple's definitely following that trend with their phones. That's awesome.
And here it is. It's unbelievable. Can you even see it? I can't even feel it. There it goes.
It's lighter and thinner,
I'd like
obviously.
to invite Phil Schiller up to tell you all about it. Phil?
So I don't know if they're calling this an Air. Is this just? I'm guessing it's just MacBook, but this is pretty.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm so excited to tell you all about this incredible.
This is a 2-pound laptop, guys.
The most extreme and efficient
Look how thin this is.
ever created. And it took reinventing every technology in it to deliver something.
That's I have a MacBook Air from 2011 sitting in front of me right now, and that blows my mind. But this thing right here is ridiculous.
Every angle. The new MacBook weighs just 2 pounds.
Okay, it's gold colored. Obviously, it's probably coated. No, this probably isn't like obviously, you know, we're not talking like 18 karat gold probably. 13.1 millimeters at its thickest point.
Mac we have ever made as well.
Thinner, thinnest.
Here it is, the 11-inch Mac.
Wow.
As you can see,
Look at that.
it's 24% thinner.
That is 24% thinner. That's holy shit. That's crazy. I mean, let's just be honest.
Huge difference. If you look around at every angle you see, well, this is an all metal enclosure.
Let me just give you an idea of that.
Integrate the antennas right into the enclosure. The first time we've been able to do it that way. And when you open it up, you're struck by one of its most prominent features, that keyboard. There's a full-size keyboard. It goes all the way to the edge. That actually defines the size of the notebook, that keyboard. It's not just any keyboard, it is an all-new keyboard. As you move to a thinner design,
So the keyboard is literally edge to edge now, while still keeping that chiclet style.
How current keyboard technology works. Here's a slow motion video of a customer typing on a standard keyboard, and as you see, the keys get pressed, they're a bit wobbly. In fact, if you press
They're literally doing a slow-mo of the keys right now to show the mechanism.
That's because they're based on a mechanism called a scissor mechanism. And there was a time when that was great. But now there's something new. Our team invented
Butterfly
a
mechanism.
butterfly mechanism. This butterfly mechanism is built of a single assembly, and it's supported by a stainless steel dome switch. That all adds up to a key that is much more precise and accurate. In fact, it's 4 times more stable than that scissor mechanism. It is 40% thinner, allowing it to make a thinner keyboard. And we also made the keycap larger, making it even easier to strike and get a beautiful typing experience. This is a slow motion video of typing on the new keyboard, on the new MacBook. The keys are much more
Wow, so you can see how they're
more accurate. Even if you strike them,
basically they've distributed the mechanism to go all around. That way, it's not
it is a beautiful keyboard.
it's an even press as far as the key goes.
We have now
Read around.
created a new lighting system for the backlight with an individual LED for each key. This allows it to be thinner and more precise in its illumination. That's the first new feature of the new MacBook, an all-new full-size keyboard.
That's cool. Like, I mean, you're seeing a different. The gold thing, as far as the MacBook, I know it's like a very small thing, but it's them definitely expanding into, you know, it matching with it's a Retina display. First off, in this super thin laptop, 23 4x1440.
Over 3.3 million pixels.
We're talking about that resolution in a 13.1 millimeter laptop.
The panel is just 0.88 millimeters thin. This is the thinnest display we've ever built into a Mac. And those pixels have a larger aperture for light. What's that about? Well, an individual pixel is made up of red, green, and blue subpixels. The team has been able to miniaturize electronics.
This is some crazy stuff.
So it's the same.
Keep in mind, there was rumors of a new MacBook, but not a MacBook Air. We thought they were going to update the MacBook Air, which technically they have. They've updated the MacBook Air, but I mean, they literally have made a new laptop. Like this isn't an update to the MacBook Air. This is an all-new laptop. It's 24% thinner than the current MacBook Air. It incorporates a whole new keyboard and some other fancy things.
A traditional trackpad is hinged at the top. And as you click on it, it moves like a
And so they've changed like every mechanism in this keyboard to make it fit better. No more typing problems. That's definitely a first world issue. Oh.
There's a glass multi-touch surface, but built underneath it are 4 force sensors.
Okay, so they expanded the sensors again.
And for the first time in a trackpad, our taptic engine that you've heard about with watch is built into here as well.
That's cool. So
of your clicking. This is an incredibly thin
taptic engine. That's meaning you'll get feedback essentially, I guess. I don't know if that's a vibration sensor.
Same feel over the entire surface. It's not hinged like a diving board. And that feel, because it's managed in software, you can adjust it. You want to have a stiffer or softer
That's cool.
feel to your trackpad. But what it can do is
You can. So what he's saying right now, he's talking about the new trackpad.
Sensors sense a range of pressure.
And the new sensors here will be able to. You can adjust it in software. How the tension essentially, if you want it to be like a tighter press, a lighter press, and it's going to be obviously able to render these different types of clicks.
Well, in OS 10, when you force click, for example, in a word,
So more gestures essentially.
automatically get a Wikipedia lookup of that.
Again, look at
If you're an
the
email and you see an
keypad
address,
here.
force click on it, and you automatically get a map that pops up with a location. Maybe someone has invited you and sent you a date and time. You force click on that, and it automatically creates a calendar.
They're literally calling this force click too.
You can even force click on a file in the Finder and automatically get a preview of the contents of that file without even opening the application.
Software adjustable click feel. That's crazy. So you literally have the ability to adjust the feedback that you're getting on your trackpad within the OS 10 software.
Based on that pressure.
And here we thought this event was just going to be them talking about the Apple Watch.
You can press deeper on fast forward, and the deeper you press, the faster it goes.
The deeper you press, the faster it goes.
So this is the new trackpad, the new MacBook. It's engineered like no trackpad ever has before. So let's take a look inside, because what's on the inside is just as innovative as these features.
I feel like my stream's lagging a little bit behind some people. It's like I'm on Twitter, I'm seeing, but then again, these people are at the actual event, so
Unibody architecture,
maybe I'm not off.
structure out of the enclosure, and you can mount devices and components directly to that structure, like that great trackpad. Let's put
So
the
this
logic board
this
inside.
is they're literally showing the
This is the
construction.
logic board of the 11-inch MacBook Air.
They're showing the ins and outs of the device again, which is something that's
to make that fit inside the new MacBook. Well, our engineering team
It's cool.
had 2 really huge challenges with this. The first, the device with the circular.
This is crazy. My sister is like reporting things before I'm even. My sister's live at the event, so she's literally like reporting things like a couple of seconds before I even see it up. So it's cool. Fanless. Oh wow, that's interesting.
So it operates silently.
So that's gonna be 100% silent, pretty much.
Without the fan. What our engineering team did is remarkable. That's the new logic board inside the MacBook.
Wow.
They've miniaturized it. It is the
Holy
densest
shit.
logic board ever in a Mac.
That's crazy. Completely fanless. 67% smaller logic board. The engineering that goes into this alone. I mean,
This is insane. It's powered
is this a MacBook Air? Is that what they're calling it? Like, I'm still confused. People are calling it MacBook. People are calling it MacBook Air. They labeled it MacBook. I'm thinking they're just going to go with the word MacBook at this point.
And yet all that performance just consumes 5 watts. It's incredibly energy efficient. So now we can fit that incredible, the new logic board right.
I love that it's gold. It's still very like troll at the same time hilarious to me that it's completely gold.
This uses Apple's asymmetric battery technology. You can see the cells are different sizes.
Those are the batteries, ladies and gentlemen. So they're going in asymmetric battery alignment.
Traditional cells.
I'm guessing this means that we're still going to maintain that 10 hours of life because it's mostly just battery.
Work very well if you have a product this thin, this contoured. You try to fit a rectangular cell in it, you see you left with a lot of empty space. You want to ship air, you want to ship batteries. So what the team has done is amazing. They treated the batteries in sheets. turrets
Fan this.
with contoured shapes that fit the contours of the MacBook's enclosure. So now you can fit battery technology inside it like this. Far more
That's
efficient.
basically they're stacking the batteries. 35% more capacity for batteries.
By these new contoured cells. That allows us to deliver
Again, I mean, like,
all-day
just
battery
from an engineering standpoint, you can't help but be, to me, in my opinion, like, this is just in its own right, very, very amazing.
Web, up to 10 hours iTunes movie playback, and so much more. It is an incredibly innovative notebook on the inside as well as the outside. How do you connect with the world? Well, this is our vision for the future of the notebook.
Oh, wow.
And the only intelligent vision
Like Wi-Fi.
notebook is
Wi-Fi.
one without wires. We don't have to plug up
Yeah,
cables
so there's no
and
Ethernet here, obviously.
That's why we have both dual stream 802.11ac
And it's 11AC and Bluetooth 4.0, so the
with all the
latest wireless content, or standards, of course.
and continuity. You can connect and share like never before wirelessly. You can connect peripherals. You can connect to printers. You can share
New
content.
design.
This is the vision of the notebook. One of extreme portability.
So that's, yeah, they're going for the whole portability look here, obviously.
Smooth airplay. Want to share files.
A wireless design as much as possible.
When you want to get on cellular network from your MacBook, you can initiate a hotspot.
But I mean, this is you know, when I don't prepare as much for the events as I have in the past, it's always more interesting because I get surprised by things like this. I mean, I heard of news of a MacBook Air update, but this, again, really is completely a brand new laptop in itself.
So we do have a port on here for power, and the team decided if we're going to have a port on it, let's make the most versatile connector we've ever put.
Okay, so they're talking about the power
Sure
port.
enough, they did.
Wow.
The connector supports USB data, display port, power,
Wow.
HDMI,
So it's an all-in-one port.
all through one connector.
They've literally jammed the display port, the Thunderbolt port, the charging port, all into one connector.
Brand new standard called USB-C, and Apple, along with a number of other companies, have all worked together to
USB-C. This is like an all-new standard, pretty much.
Here's the cable for USB-C.
Looks just like a lightning cable.
Standard USB cable. It's easier to use because it's reversible. No more trying to dive underneath and figure out which way it goes. And it's the most versatile connector. You'll see adapters from
So far, he's been calling it the new MacBook. He hasn't mentioned
all these different interfaces
Air.
all through one connector. So this is the new MacBook.
But this does mean, keep in mind, I think this means like if it's one connector, that means a crap ton of adapters at the same time. USB display adapter. They've limited you as far as ports goes, at the same time expanding the capability of one port. There's definitely had to be compensations with the ports as far as silver, space gray, and gold.
Stunning gold.
So this is obviously, you know, in line with, this is coming in line with the phones. They're matching the phones here. You know, this is the 2011 MacBook Air right here. You know, with the Thunderbolt port, and then you have your charger. Essentially, they've turned this into a USB-C port, and you have to use adapters to plug everything in through here now, because you're not going to have a single USB port. You're not going to have your audio jack. And I don't know if there's any ports on the left side. I don't see them. But again, this is an energy efficient notebook. They're talking about the environmental standards, as they always do, because they're very proud about that, which of course they should be. So, yeah. And here comes the MacBook Air video. So let's stay tuned for this. Joni Ive, this
is the result of a collective obsession to simplify its essential components to create the most efficient design possible.
It really is engineering wise.
It's a product that couldn't exist without invention.
Really, I mean, stunning in itself.
A full-size keyboard is the most familiar, comfortable, and accurate typing.
So again, providing that full-size keyboard.
Width of the new MacBook. To make it thinner and more precise, we created a sturdy, single-assembly butterfly mechanism.
They're literally showcasing to everybody the way the keyboard works. This is a new mechanism within the keyboard. Oh, that's a cool look at it.
Key is now lit by a single LED. This enables better.
I don't think Apple's ever really even made a video like this in depth regarding a keyboard, but you know, it is important, despite the portability and all that, you're getting this full-size keyboard.
To engineer the thinnest Retina screen.
And keep in mind, this is all while providing you Retina display, so you're getting crazy resolution, crazy quality in pixels. 12-inch display, I believe.
But in a design that's thinner, lighter, and 30% more power efficient. We've designed a force-sensing, multi-touch trackpad. This adds a new dimension of interaction. Touch sensors make the entire glass surface active. Force sensors measure a
new MacBook. That's the term that they've been using, not MacBook Air.
The deepest press. The pressure you apply activates an electromagnet that responds with tactile feedback. So now instead of just seeing what's happening on the screen, you feel it too.
Okay, yeah. So it is a haptic feedback. So your trackpad is literally going to vibrate to showcase feedback. And that is the battery in itself, which is crazy. So you can see they're layering the cells on top of each battery here.
In a terraced structure that was developed along with the external enclosure.
Look at that. Look at that finish on that. I mean,
allows for 35% greater battery capacity in this compact space.
35% better battery capacity while reducing all that size and stuff.
Extreme approach to miniaturization.
And look, this is the logic board.
Optimized and engineered to fit together to create the highest density math logic board yet. It's actually 2/3 smaller than any we've designed before. A fundamental goal was to eliminate the need for vents, fans, or any moving parts, allowing it to operate in silence. By consolidating the antenna with the bottom case, we were able to design an integrated aluminium hinge.
Apologies for that. That was my phone.
Along with its unibody enclosure, makes this the first all-metal MacBook. This product is not only thin and light, its advanced wireless technologies make it truly portable. When you actually need to plug in.
Okay, 3 new viewers tuning in for the stream. We still have yet to hear the price on this. This is the all-new MacBook. It's not a MacBook Air. It's the all-new MacBook. Literally thinner than the Air. I think 20+% thinner. Coming in 3 different colors: gold, that gold champagne, the traditional, Apple aluminum silver, and space gray. They've done this by compacting the keyboard, compacting the logic board, introducing an all-new trackpad, introducing all-new ports. Looks like there is ports on the other side. They've completely redesigned a connector known as USB-C. I mean, re-engineered this from the ground up, all while providing a Retina display, better battery life, in this super thin, super light, now currently their lightest notebook available.
Hashtag MacBook Lust.
He just, okay.
New MacBook starts with
8 gigs of memory. So here's specs for everybody.
Gigahertz Intel Core M, a large 8 gig.
So it's running a Core M processor, 1.1 gigahertz. This is baseline, most likely. And let's hear about the price. $12.99.
And for those, yeah.
Not bad, not bad. I mean, suspected that, yeah.
And twice that internal storage for just $15.99.
You're getting decent hardware here. Obviously, it's Core M. 8 gigs memory, the SSD. This ships April 10th. But obviously, what you're paying for here, ladies and gentlemen, is it's like with the Airs, you're paying for the portability. Oh, and now let's jump back. They've updated the MacBook Airs to 5th Gen i7s and i5s. So it's interesting. They're still promoting the MacBook Airs.
It's flash that's now twice as fast as before. And those will be shipping starting today.
It's not replacing any other models. And the MacBook Pros are being updated. So this is interesting. they're putting the stuff into, I thought they would have kept the MacBook and MacBook Pro. To me, this kind of replaces the Air, but not replaces. I can still see people wanting the Air for pure price reasons. Like if you just want something that's cheaper,
And that's shipping today as well.
and all that, then you can, go for the Air. But it's kind of confusing because the Airs aren't the lightest ones anymore. The MacBooks are.
I think you're really gonna love it.
So it's interesting that they.
Now I'd like to
I think eventually, long term, they're gonna phase out the Air or do some sort of update to it. Who knows?
Apple Watch. Apple Watch is the most.
And here we go
personal
now,
device
touching into the
ever created.
thing that we've all been waiting for, the Apple Watch.
It's on you. And since what you wear is an expression of who you are, we designed Apple Watch to appeal to a whole variety of people with different tastes and different preferences. But the one thing is consistent, we crafted each one of them with.
So the event is actually pretty not short. I mean, we've been about an hour in, and typically these go for an hour and a half. I haven't heard back from Duncan, so I don't think that he was able to make it back actually. Hopefully I can get him on after, and maybe we can do some talking.
And a jaw-dropping, beautiful 18-karat gold.
So they're literally recapping all the watches that they've
Now, in addition
introduced
to
here.
being a beautiful object,
The main thing we're looking for here is price.
is the most advanced.
What they're going to offer as far as price and all of that.
created. It's a revolutionary new way to connect with others. It's a comprehensive health and fitness companion. So let's start with time.
So they're talking about time, fitness, and the customability of this.
Accurate within 50 milliseconds of the UTC. That's the universal time standard for those of you that don't know. That means it's super accurate and you don't have to worry about it. Now, in addition to this, every Apple Watch has many different faces and many different configurations. So you might like this traditional face. It's absolutely gorgeous.
So again, this is the customability as far as the software aspect will go for the Apple Watch. Hello, what's up? Swag. Sorry, yeah, test. I was just putting test in the live stream chat to see if it was working. Thank you for stopping by. For those of you who stopped by earlier, and I know for those of you interacting on Twitter, I imagine with this event, I'm just touching up. I'm talking because he's literally just recapping things we already know. Apple events are always early, obviously. They're at 9 a.m. I don't expect, for Pacific Standard Time at least. 2 a.m. for me. It's 3 a.m. right now. So I don't expect everybody to tune into these live streams right away. But nonetheless, afterwards, like these are website-wise, our traffic is the most we get usually. Like it spikes around Apple events. When we do our recap and our overview posts, it really is some of the busiest days for us throughout the year. I just want to obviously express my appreciation for all of those who are stopping by, whatever time it may be, wherever you are. And just for the other reason that this event isn't something that a lot of people know about. And the mainstream audience, obviously, the mainstream viewers who aren't technology fans, this is something that's outside of Apple's regular schedule, obviously. So this isn't something that they had planned. It's just specifically tailored for the watch and I guess the other announcements they made. Anyways, Swag TA, sorry, I don't even know if I don't know if that's an abbreviation, but you're new to the channel here. What's going on? So hey, first off, welcome to the channel, obviously. This is just a live coverage every year for the last 5+ years, I think, 4 to 5 years, I think. I've been covering Apple events live, typically with my good friend Duncan Mail, Mobile Phone 2003. He's not here right now. We've been covering events and just giving a recap, our thoughts. It isn't obviously a direct rebroadcast of the stream, or it is in the sense, but I'm here to commentate, give my thoughts and opinions, and tune into the stream while everybody else may be watching here. Okay, so he's talking about the capabilities of the watch.
Since I was 5 years old. The day is finally here.
But yeah, here on Digital Dojos, it's an independent network. I own and operate the network. I cover technology, I cover lifestyle topics and all that. We recently expanded in 2015 to cover a lot of different things, but technology being one of those main aspects, talking about technology, news, reviews, tutorials, showing users how to better interact with technology, and also just making content that appeals to the masses. So not just the nerds and everything out there. I like to say I make content for enthusiasts. So we have content on what a lot of other people, we have 4 new viewers. What a lot of other people don't know is I'm a huge fan of watches. I collect actual like timepieces in watches, much like the piece that I'm wearing right now. And that's one of the things that we're going to be branching into in Digital Dojos. I'm covering menswear. I cover those sort of products. I'm going to be reviewing those things. I'm in talks with some new potential sponsors, which is really interesting for that. So for those of you interested in the whole watches and smartwatch area, that's something we're also going to be covering here on Digital Dojos. So stay tuned for that if you're interested. Anyways, right now, like I said, they're literally recapping on everything that we've known thus far about the Apple Watch. Everything it can track, the customability. We have 3 models when it comes to the Apple Watch. For those who don't know, you have the basic model, which is the Apple Watch. You have the sport model, which is obviously more geared towards fitness and activity, with the rubber straps, things of that nature. And then you're going to have the Apple Watch Edition, which is essentially like the luxury end for the Apple Watch, 18 karat gold. So it's not going to be cheap. On gold prices alone and the gold standard, that's probably a watch that's going to be at least, I would say, my estimate is 2,000 plus. Yeah, that is swag. It's a blue. This is a blue Yeti microphone. Curious, just for some of you, and Swag, I know you're in the chat right now. Where did you guys? Did you just search the stream and that's how you found it? And if not, are you coming from somewhere else? Twitter, Dunk's Web. I know I posted it out, a couple places. But yeah, I got a blue Yeti here, and sorry, I'm just trying to see if he's talking about something new. No, but yeah, I'm using the blue Yeti, and yeah, it's a really great mic. I use it for everything. I've had it for, I've had it for 2 years now, I think, and it's lasted me. Recently it started having issues, and it's definitely time for me to upgrade, just for the quality of mic I want. I need less background noise in my office than my office has. I have a mini fridge back there, which you guys can probably hear turning on every now and then. So yeah, that's definitely something I want to upgrade. All right, so right now, again, he's talking, he's running around the mill about what the Apple Watch offers here. Oh, that's great. That's awesome. That's always cool to hear. Well, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. If you enjoy stuff, you can obviously check out more content on the channel and or digitaldojos.com. I see you have a YouTube channel too, so as a fellow YouTuber, been creating tech content for 9 years now, if people can believe that. I've been creating content in general for 9 years. Now in 2015, I'm expanding outside of technology. Wow, top fashion models.
A member of the Time magazine top 100 most influential people in the world.
This is Giselle.
She's a mother and a maternal health advocate.
They're talking about a model right now.
She's a member of the Harvard Medical School Global Health Council and an advisor to the Harvard School of Public Health. She also founded Every Mother Counts, which is a nonprofit organization.
So right now they're talking about a model who I'm guessing has been using the watch.
For every mother. She is incredibly impressive, and she is Christy Turlington Burns.
Okay, Christy Turlington Burns. I honestly can't say I'm aware of her work. But definitely an impressive lineup of stuff.
Now, Christy also, in her spare time, has finished 3 marathons.
Wow.
Which is, I have to say, 3 more than I have. And she recently became the first person in the world to finish a half marathon using an Apple Watch.
Oh, wow.
And we were able to video some of her experience.
So basically, this is like somebody that they used to kind of promote the watch, and she used it when she ran a marathon here. This is a marathon that she ran in Kilimanjaro. So we're going to see a video now, I believe, documenting that marathon.
Health and fitness have always been part of my life. As a kid, as an adult, and now as a mother. Maternal health is the most important issue to me. It's a big part of why I run.
Hello, what's up, Andres? Welcome to the live stream.
The length of this race is similar to the distance that mothers in developing countries like Tanzania need to travel to get basic obstetric care.
Welcome all you viewers, hang on.
For them. They are my motivation. I just started using Apple Watch, and that's what it is.
Right now they are talking about the Apple Watch, and this is a spokesperson. Essentially for them. I gotta say, for somebody, I've never owned, I'm a huge watch person. I have a ton of watches, spent way more money than I like to admit on watches. Never bought a smartwatch. And just because I never thought, not that I wouldn't need one, just, well, the quality just went really crappy there for a second. But, you know, I never saw something promising. Now, the smartwatch in itself has been out for years, Casio and all that. But it wasn't really until 2014, 2015 that we've seen the popularity in a modern format with Android Wear, with Apple's Watch, with Pebble. And that's why, you know, things like this, I think, most importantly, aside from being an extension of your phone, smartwatches for things like this, what they're talking about, fitness, tracking, running, your heart rate, things of that nature, that's where I think it really comes in handy when it integrates around you and what you want to do with it, you know, whether it's fitness or getting email notifications. That's the cool aspect to me about smartwatches. And of course, it all being at a glance of your wrist.
Christy just arrived back in the U.S. from Africa yesterday afternoon. Despite that, she graciously accepted our invitation to be here with us this morning. And I'd like to invite her on stage to talk about her next big adventure. Christy?
So she's a previous model, and obviously she's here now. She just came back from Africa yesterday, so she's going to be here to speak about everything she just did.
About trying to, make a difference in the world, and you are clearly doing that.
Thank you so much, Tim. It's such an honor to be here. Tanzania was an incredible experience and such an amazing opportunity to raise awareness for everyone that counts.
Now, how did the Apple Watch help you run this half marathon, just in case I eventually wind up running one?
Well, I relied on it quite heavily, actually. The race was pretty challenging, and there's a lot of alcohol.
I'm sure she's being endorsed to do all this too, but I mean.
Now, you're wearing, it looks like the blue modern buckle. Is this a favorite?
This is my fashion favorite, I have to say. I've been using the rubber band mostly for my training and my racing.
Oh, yes.
She's talking about her own experience, of course, with the watch here.
Well, you've got a big adventure coming up. You want to tell us about it?
Yes, in about 8 weeks, I'm going to be running my first race, well, my London Virgin Money marathon in the UK. It's like the biggest marathon, and I'm hoping to beat my record and come in just under 4 hours. And the Apple Watch is going to help me get there.
All right. So, yeah, they're literally just talking about her marathon that she's going to be running and how she's going to be using the Apple Watch.
That will now be 4-0. 4 marathons here and 0 for me. So, look, we are very happy to be a part of it. We want the Apple Watch to help you prepare for this marathon. Thank you so much for coming this morning. It's a privilege for us to have you. Thank you.
All right. So, again, for those of you tuning in, that was a former model, and she's very active in a ton of different areas. But basically, they followed her training, and they're using her as a kind of to promote this idea of the Apple Watch being a very big in the fitness tracking industry and all of that. So let's flip back to the stream now.
Incredibly rich and integral part of your life. It's a precise and customizable timepiece. It's a revolutionary new way to connect with others and it's a comprehensive health and fitness companion.
I mean, mainly what everybody's waiting for is the price drops, of course.
That is really just the beginning. Because you will also learn that you can pay with Apple Pay.
Okay, so yeah, touch up on some of the things you're going to be able to do here. Obviously, you'll be playing media, control photos and music, take notes. I'm guessing this will integrate with Siri. Yeah, exactly what you just said. Apple Pay, music, maps, all of that via the Apple Watch.
You can get notifications on Apple Watch. You can receive any notification that you receive on iPhone today.
And they're talking about notifications right now. And very, you know, to touch down as far as first person, you know, the first world problem here. What this means is essentially like you won't have to take this out of your pocket. Like this stays in your pocket. You can be driving, you can be whatever. You get notifications here. I know it's very like, it's not for everybody. Like this does not require much effort, taking this out of your pocket. And it's a very situational thing. The only reason I like this is because I don't like, you know, as much as possible nowadays when I'm out, the less frequently I can take this out, the better to me personally. So I like the idea of glancing at this without having the need to pull this guy out. And, you know, obviously in instances when you shouldn't be using this, like driving, for example, or whatever, the ability to me, you know, both hands on the wheel and to tap real quick to dismiss a message or to end a call or pick up a call for that matter. I'm guessing it has a microphone built in. You know, those are the pros in my opinion. Right now, they have brought up somebody to talk about WatchKit, the development that's going to go into the Apple Watch itself, the apps. It's going to be running a mobile version of iOS and what you can bring to it.
Kind of like a day in the life of Apple Watch, if you will. So let's start out at work. So here I am at work, and I like to be able to look at my watch without pulling my phone out all the time, and I can see important notifications.
So he's showing an idea of what it would look like when you're looking at those important notifications without having to pull out your phone here.
I might look at here, for example, I can just swipe up from the bottom. I can see the current stock market. I can see some business information using Salesforce Wave here. I can look at sports scores using MLB.com's at-bat glance. And I can see the top trend on Twitter, which is, I guess, this event right now, which is great.
The guy does look like a really young Bill Gates.
Look at upcoming trips. So, for example, I might be going to New York pretty soon, and I can see my departure information here. Now, that actually reminds me, I've got some questions about New York, so I'm going to ask Siri here. I'll just start.
So you can see some of the stuff they touch about.
What's the temperature in New York?
You can see here the idea of Siri being built into the device.
Siri just using my voice like this. Hey Siri, how about the rest of the week?
Okay, so this is like a Hey Google thing or OK Google. This is Hey Siri is the OK Google for Android users.
Pretty cloudy though, so I'm going to remind myself to bring an umbrella.
Essentially.
Hey Siri, remind me to pack my umbrella when I get home. A little reminder for me. I can see that, so when I get home, I will remember to pack the right thing. It's great to use Siri to make yourself remember things throughout the day like that. I see I've got a message coming in. I get messages with a variety of apps. This one is from WeChat. So a friend of mine from China, I'm going to be meeting for dinner.
So one button tap to activate Siri. That's kind of interesting because I wonder if that's going to like be very troublesome.
On my watch. And there's the thread. I can reply with a text message. Or WeChat has these great stickers. So I'm going to tap here to pick a sticker. They've got a bunch of
and to me, like, okay, like for me, I'm just gonna jump out of this. He's just showcasing the watch right now. There's a lot of there's a lot of smartwatches out right now in the market. I haven't really seen much till recently that I really wanted to buy. I was interested by the Pebble. The Pebble Time was just announced, so the Pebble Time is a really promising smartwatch in my opinion. LG's Urbane and the what's it called? The how do you pronounce that one company? The Huawei watch that just came out, and the Moto 360. Those are like my top favorite watches as far as a smartwatch goes. Because one important aspect to me about, you know, when it comes to real watches, this is a Rolex Datejust I have here, is the aesthetic, obviously. Like you know, with a real watch, I can switch the band. I have a leather band rather than the traditional Jubilee bracelet on this. You know, to me personally, much like a smartwatch is an extension of your phone, a watch to me is an extension of like whatever I want to express, my outfit, whatever, whatever it is, it goes along with that. And the idea of a smartwatch is it's going to be both fashionable and functional. It gives you the ability to swap the straps and all of that. And let me just jump back here while I talk. And of course, be very, very functional. Give you things that you actually could use rather than just the time. So, that's the interesting idea to me behind the smartwatch category. And that's why, again, things like the Apple Watch, Pebble Time, and the Huawei and the LG are watches to me that really meet both of those kind of standards, design and the form and functionality.
I don't have to have my phone with me all the time. I also like to change my watch face. I can do that by just.
So he's now just showing the custom ability. And keep in mind, this is all stuff we knew was possible. They're just showing it more in depth. Really, what everybody's waiting for is the price drop and the release date. I mean, in all honesty.
Or if I'd like, I can just glance at that as well. I can just swipe up here, and in just a second, I can see some images, recent photos from my friends on Instagram.
So this is Instagram. This is the Instagram app that we're seeing right now. This is an idea of the mobile watch kit based app for iOS on the Apple Watch.
I can use the crown to quickly scroll through them to see one that I might like. Here's a nice forest photo.
You'd be able to tap on it.
More information. This one's about Muir Woods. You can see 54 people have liked it. I'll like it too. I just tap on the heart there, and now I've liked that photo. So it's a lot of fun to use apps like Instagram right in your watch. It's super easy and quick.
And the idea of obviously these smartwatch devices, they're very personal. I mean, it's this weird concept of, when you can touch something with a device and it's physical, it creates more of a physical connection. And that's why, they're really touching on the personability aspect.
Hi, this is Kevin.
Hi, Kevin. This is Vera calling from Now. Your dog's Finnegan is ready to be picked up.
Okay, great. I'll be right over as soon as the event is done, okay?
Okay, see you soon.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Okay, so they had a little joke thrown in. I don't know. Sometimes their jokes are always a hit or miss to me. Bow wow meow. Okay.
Over Wi-Fi as well as Bluetooth. So when you're home, you don't have to be within Bluetooth range of your phone. You can be anywhere in your house and still get all your messages and take your phone calls just like that.
So you require an iPhone. Keep in mind with the Apple Watch, it requires an iPhone to interact and pull the notifications in. And this is the home screen. This is the idea of the home screen, these little circles essentially for the apps.
It's going to actually summon a car right here for my watch.
And this is the Uber app for the Apple Watch right now.
Right around the corner. My driver's name is Scott. He's pretty close, so I think we're going to get a notification in a second here about him arriving. There it is. So you just get the notification on your wrist. It taps you, let you know the car's coming. And the notification has the license plate number, a photo of the car, so you know you're getting in the right car when he arrives. So a lot of fun to be able to call a car like that. Now, what I also like is when I'm traveling to an airport, I can use my Apple Watch to get through security. So when I get near the airport, my boarding pass will just show up right here in my notification.
And this is the idea of, using Passbook to showcase your traveling. Really, this is all stuff that's nothing new as far as we knew this was integrated in the watch software-wise, but we never really got an in-depth look at how it interacts and how the interface is. And that's what we're seeing now. He's literally just going through and showcasing everything.
One less thing to hold on to. We're trying to get through the airport. Now, when I'm leaving, I also like to send my wife a little goodbye note. So I'm going to do that with Digital Touch. So I'll just press the side button.
This is Digital Touch. This is this thing where you can contact essentially your favorite contacts.
Somebody to send a note to. It's my wife. Now I can call her, send a message, or I can use Digital Touch.
Digital Touch is this weird, you can draw things. It's like a little doodling. I don't know. It's like a personal thing here.
That way she knows I'm thinking of her as in flight. All right, so that's sent off to my wife now. Now, when I arrive at my hotel room, I'll also get a notification when I get near hotels like SPG's W Hotel. And here's my reservation information for the hotel room right here.
And he's also touching on the locational awareness.
Check in my confirmation number, my room number.
As far as, the locational awareness of the device, being able to see things and all that.
And this not only looks great and reflects
very quickly, and you can act on these. In this case, I can use this to unlock my door right from the notification on my watch. So I press unlock your door, and I can bypass the front desk entirely, go directly to my
And this is an idea of you being able to use a room key. You don't have to go pick up a room key. You can use your watch. And in selected hotels, of course, eliminating the amount of people you need to actually interact with on a human level basis here.
When I go into my room, sometimes they have music playing when you walk into a hotel room. So this one has some music playing. I'm wondering what this song is.
Watch.
My watch and Shazam on my watch.
Again, so right now what he's showing it's like a Shazam for the Apple Watch.
So it's a simple press of the Shazam button. I see the song, the album art, I can see the lyrics. The lyrics are in sync with the song that's being played right now. Really super cool and super easy to do. Now when I'm traveling, I might receive some messages as well. And here's one coming in from Maddie saying that she's forgot her key and can't get in the house. Now I can actually take care of this for my watch. So I'm going to reply and say it's going to be okay. I'll use dictation.
So this is like the idea of you can dictate quick responses, all that stuff.
I'll open the garage door for you. I can send that back to Maddie. Now I can send that as an audio.
Just to showcase some of the things.
Or I
Yeah.
can send it back as the text. I'll send the text.
Some of the apps that you'll see here on the Apple Watch thus far.
I can actually control the garage door remotely with my watch. I've got this great app.
Again, ton of apps here. He's showing how you can open up the garage door here and all that stuff.
I've got my information about my house. The locks are locked. The garage door is
You
closed
just
right
save
now.
some of these images.
I'd like to change this. I can just tap on the garage area here.
You go back up.
And
Sorry.
I have a camera as well pointed at the garage door. Seeing the garage door here right now with an open button. So let's open the door.
So he's gonna open up this garage.
Send the command to my garage door, and it should open. There it goes.
Just home automation essentially, what we're seeing.
Looks like Maddie has a friend with her right now. She's able to get inside. That's great. So these are just a few examples.
So again, all basic examples of how you can use, and you'll be able to use the Apple Watch essentially.
Saving you time in these moments in your life. You're using the watch to make it really delightful. We're super excited to see what developers are going to do with this great new platform. Thank you very much. You're going to be surprised at all the things that developers.
Okay, so hopefully now we'll hear about prices and things of that nature.
First, Apple Watch has been designed to work with iPhone.
So you need an iPhone.
Go to the iPhone to both see apps, browse apps, and download apps.
So you will install apps through the iPhone.
Talked about. In iOS 8.2, you will find
There's an Apple Watch app.
new app, the Apple Watch app. It looks like this. This is the App Store portion of it.
Oh, okay.
This is
That's
where
cool.
you see and browse.
So there's gonna be an Apple
You can also
Apple Watch App Store. Jeez, I don't know if I can say it.
You can also set up your friends and decide which notifications you want coming to your watch. iOS 8.2 is available today for download. Now, with all of these great apps and all the capabilities that we've shown you, we think that Apple Watch is quickly going to become integral to your day. And so we've designed it with all-day battery life across a range of activities.
Okay, so they say all day battery life. This is interesting because it was predicted that he said earlier that this is going to charge.
During a typical day, you can expect
18
It
hours?
works for most people, I think. And at the
Wow.
end of the day, there is a simple and elegant way.
Typical day. I mean, a lot of people were saying that this might have been like a 4 to 5 hour thing, or
You hold the magnetic
with heavy
plug
usage, of
back
course.
the watch, it will automatically click into place.
So they have that MagSafe
So simple.
charger that you can essentially use.
Integrated Apple Watch into 3 aluminum, and it's available in silver or space gray, and it has colorful bands that are made out of
all-day battery. That's interesting.
Everything about Apple Watch has been very carefully considered.
Price is what we want to see here.
Down to the material. And this aluminum material is not your usual run-of-the-mill aluminum. And to show you what I mean, we prepared a short video.
So they're going to go into the aspect as far as machinery that goes into the watches here, and like the aluminum that they're using. It's not your typical aluminum. Is basically what they're trying to say. Aluminium.
Aluminium is naturally strong and lightweight. It's the ideal material for Apple Watch Sport. Our engineers have custom designed a new alloy. It is 60% stronger than standard alloys, but just as light.
So they say it's 60% stronger, but just as light as your traditional alloy when it comes to aluminum.
This requires precision alloying. Raw aluminium of exceptional purity.
It's kind of cool to see like raw aluminum in the liquid state.
Magnesium and zinc are then added. As these elements bind together, they form a protective compound that strengthens the material. The alloy is then poured, jet cooled, and cut. A high temperature treatment minimizes uneven chemistry in the billets and ensures proper grain structure. Next, a finely tuned extrusion process creates a uniform surface, free of defects. After being meticulously,
Sorry, I like watching these videos. They're basically, again, they're going over the engineering right now of what goes into the Apple Watch. It's aluminum. I think more specifically for the sport here, because obviously for the sport you want it to be light, but you also want it to be very durable, because ideally you're going to be running with this thing. You want it to be, water, sweat resistant, liquid, in general. You want it to be repellent and resistant. And you want it to be durable, because it's going to get, eventually, like any watch, it may eventually get banged up or whatever.
sets a new standard, both in the way it performs and the way it looks.
See, that's when I'm curious now, because the choice between me is it's definitely, the high end watch edition is going to definitely cost $1,500+ My prediction, $1,500 easily can go up higher than that, because we're talking 18 karat gold here. Apple Watch, I'm thinking $350. Apple Sport, maybe a little bit more in the $400 range. Okay, so yeah, $349, $350 for the Watch Sport. So possibly more for the Apple Watch. This is the this is the baseline. This is definitely the model I think I'll be going for. I mean, I would love the watch edition, and it may be something in the future, but not edition 1. I really want to see how they do the Apple Watch edition, because it's going to be a premium product for sure.
This stainless steel is no ordinary stainless steel.
And they have a video here for every watch. It looks like they have a video for the Sport. They've had a video for now the Apple Watch, talking about the steel that is built out of, and I'm sure they're going to have a video on the 18 karat gold.
It's both strong and beautiful. There's a reason it has long been used to make fine watch cases. For Apple Watch, we start with an alloy of stainless steel, known for its strength.
Basically, what they're trying to say here is Apple's aluminum is better than the average aluminum. Their steel is better, and their gold is better. That's essentially what he's getting at here.
This is followed by a specialized cold forging process that helps to make the metal up to 80% harder and less susceptible to nicks and scratches. The forging machine, a 12-station multi-axis weaving machine, achieving highly accurate accurate uniformity across the case. It's polished to a pristine mirror finish. For the space black stainless steel, an additional
So they're looking at the stainless steel here that they're offering, and you can see. I mean, it's really cool to see these materials in general. But this is the Apple Watch collection right here. Stainless steel, ton of different options. That's why it's going to be the most versatile lineup essentially here.
is made from more than 140 individual parts.
All right, I know I'm skipping the video right now. I just got to save this picture, and I'll jump back up.
Fine steel coils woven together to create a flowing mesh with a fabric feel. With steel, we given a traditional material a new expression.
And then we're gonna see. I'm guessing. So I got that backwards. I'm thinking the Sport's the cheapest model, just because material alone. I'm guessing Apple Watch is gonna go in the $400 to $500 range, possibly. That's my prediction. I'm really just interested in that Apple Watch Edition to see how high they price that and what they do with that, because again, it's not a Gen 1 product for me. I would love to get that 18 karat gold one, but okay, yeah, $550. Wow, all the way up to $1,050.
Ranges to $1049 depending upon your selection of the watch band.
Wow.
The 42 millimeter is only $50 more. Now, the Apple Watch Edition is something unbelievable.
This goes up to $1049, so you know the Apple Watch Edition is going to be pretty damn expensive.
Available in 38 millimeter and 42 millimeter sizes. Their cases are made from 18 karat solid gold.
It starts at $10,000.
Come with these beautiful custom design
Holy
bands
shit.
with details like
Everybody was about right. That's hilarious. Everybody was pretty right.
solid gold. Now there will be limited quantities.
These are limited
Apple
quantity
Watch
because these are premium.
It is priced from $10,000, and it will be available.
You heard that gasp in the room.
Stores. The Apple Watch Edition
It's interesting to me is
the most beautiful
they didn't even put the price on the screen here.
Maybe
They didn't even put the price on the screen. That's genius.
Pre-orders beginning on April the 10th. Also on April 10th, you can go look and experience an Apple Watch in person in one of our retail stores. The retail team has worked out an incredible way to do this.
10K.
With this beautiful custom table where you can see all of the Apple Watches beautifully displayed. And of course, our retail staff is on hand.
That's the one watch that the price that they didn't show on screen.
And help you choose the one that's right for you. The Apple Watch is available on April 24th, and it will be available in many countries throughout the world. Not all countries, however, and you can be assured that we're working as hard as possible, as fast as possible to deliver them to even more countries.
Again, Sport 350
Excited about this new
Apple
family of products for us.
Watch is at $550, right?
Apple Watch is coming. And so we made an ad, and I'd love to play it for you.
Wow. A lot of people thought 10K was ridiculous. A lot of people thought that. Hang on, they're just showing an ad now, and I'm going to jump to me personally. Okay, so a lot of people thought 10K. I'm just going to kind of mute this here. I turn on my volume. 10K is ridiculous. For the common consumer, nobody's going to buy the Apple Watch Edition. The Watch Edition, ladies and gentlemen, is definitely... It is the Rolex, it is the Panerai, it is the it's these luxury brands for the Apple end. It's something that they're offering at the very, very high end. That's why they're doing limited quantity. They don't plan on selling tons of these. If they sell only a couple of these, they still probably make a nice profit margin. But the idea behind the Apple Watch Edition being like this is for them to enter one, it becomes a fashion piece. Like anything that is exclusive, you got to understand from a perspective of any company, people are going to want it based on that alone. Like there's people who, to 10K to them, it's like a drop in the pond, you know? So some people are definitely going to buy it based on like fashion and based on like, ooh, look at me, I can afford the 10K one. I mean, like, let's just be honest, that's how it's going to be. And that's why it's more of a, you look at it as a luxury item. But most people will be going with the sport or the basic edition. Let's just, be honest about it. And a lot of people didn't understand that it would start at 10K but you got to understand, like, we're talking 18 karat gold here. We're not talking like coated in gold or anything like that.
And this is just the beginning. The future of medical research. The power
And all of these, by the way, will be available for pre-order, I believe, or available pre-order on the 10th, available on the 24th. Again, so yeah.
the reinvention and future of the notebook would be all new MacBook. Of course, our newest and our most personal device ever. Apple Watch.
So again, to fully recap here, Apple Watch prices will range from $350 all the way up to $10,000 plus dollars. There's different sizes for each watch: Sport, Apple Watch Edition, and beyond that, you can get different bands. For example, the Apple Watch Edition, you can get it in like rose gold, I believe. You can get it in standard gold, and I think, I don't know if they're offering anything outside of that. But for the other watches, you can get them in different bands. You have stainless steel with the Apple Watch. You have aluminum with the Sport model. And right now, he's just kind of closing out the event here, and they're having everybody stand up who's contributed as far as the Apple team, to give them a round of applause. Outside of the Apple Watch, nothing new here for the watch. I think everybody's predictions as far as pricing was literally spot on. 10,000 at the very top end.
There are thousands more.
10,000 at the top end, which it is a shocking number, I know, for a lot of people. But this, you got to understand, this isn't a product for the consumer. It's definitely something that is just, yeah, you don't have to get it. It's not for 99. I like this tweet. Just because it's a 10K Apple product exists doesn't mean you have to get it. It's just for 99% of. It's not for 99% of the market. You got to understand the watch market is expensive, and that's exactly. I really like that tweet. I'm actually going to retweet that from Lamar Wilson. It's like anything else out there, and I'm gonna that concludes the stream here. Let me go ahead and jump back to me just for a little bit to recap here. I'm gonna touch up on what I was talking about just a second, but let me just do a full recap of everything that we heard at the event. In the beginning, we talked about Apple sales. We talked about Apple figures, as a traditional Apple event goes. We then went into talking about the Apple TV. They lowered that by $30. They announced HBO Now exclusivity on the Apple TV. We then went to talk about research and HomeKit a little bit, talking about the great, phenomenal stuff that's going on with that, and allowing developers to create better apps to help the medical industry and people with specific diseases. Really amazing. One of the ones that were kind of out of the blue, the all-new MacBook. The all-new MacBook, it's being called a MacBook. It's going to be the middle lineup. You have your Air, you have your MacBook, and you have your MacBook Pro. But however, the all-new MacBook is the lightest laptop Apple offers. It's 20% plus, thinner than the MacBook Air, the current MacBook Air. It comes in gold, space gray, and the traditional aluminum, like your iPhones come in. It's fanless, it's thinner, it's lighter, it's an all-new design. It integrates an all-new keyboard with great new mechanisms. It integrates an all-new touchpad that has great haptic feedback, and it's really cool engineer-wise. And it starts out at $1,299, so $1,300. They also upgraded the MacBook Air and MacBook Pro with some new processors and then some other touch-ups here and there. And lastly, the Apple Watch. Really a reiteration and recap of everything we already knew about the watch in itself. The only things that were really cleared up as far as what we didn't know was the price and release date. Release date, you can pre-order on the 10th. You can also pre-order on the 10th, and you can also, what do you call that? Actually get it, I believe, in the 24th, if I'm not mistaken. And then we heard the pricing. $350 for the baseline sports model. It goes all the way up to $549 for the Apple Watch, and then $10,000 starting price for the Apple Watch Edition, the high-end watch there. And here's something that you need to realize. And I want to clarify, getting on the Apple Watch edition, I know that's going to be the talk of the town for a while, $10,000. 18 karat gold. On material alone, it's a very, very expensive watch. The watch market is expensive. I'm speaking as somebody who spent thousands of dollars plus on watches. I have, my own little collection growing here. Watches are very much a collector's piece or something. Usually they're passed down, so on and so forth. But more so, this is a different spin to it. This is interesting because yes, it's very expensive, and not 99% of you aren't going to buy it. I'll be completely honest. I'm not going to buy it, the Apple Watch edition right now, anyways. Maybe in the future if they were to reiterate the lineup and stuff like that, and I had 10K lying around. But here's the thing. I said it's the high end of the Apple Watches. Here's the rest of the lineup. Here is the Apple Watch edition. It's, like I said, the Rolex brand for Apple Watches. Don't mistake me though. I'm not comparing it to a Rolex like the one I'm wearing here, the Datejust in blue vignette. I'm not comparing it in that sense because look, this Rolex, I will be able to pass it on. You know what I mean? Like this is something that will last for years. You get it serviced, you get it cleaned, you can pass it on to the next generation or what have you. Technology isn't like an analog watch, which Rolexes and Panerais and Hublots, Audemars, those things tend to grow in age, and they're one of those things that appreciate in value at times. An Apple Watch edition, however, that's a different case. We're talking about technology. Technology expires. Technology becomes irrelevant very, very fast in this day and age. That's why it's an interesting price point, $10,000. You got to rely more on the software. Like you're paying more for the materials and the 18 karat gold of the watch, but it's also updated via software. And that's the thing about this that's going to be interesting and how they really spin the Apple Watch edition. Whether or not it's going to be, obviously you're going to get free iOS updates, but for how long? Like how long is the hardware that's in the watch edition relevant to the software that's coming out? Just like an iPhone, my iPhone 5S here is running iOS 8. I have an iPhone 4S as well that can run iOS 8, I believe. Is 4S can run iOS 8, I believe. But or even let's say the iPhone 5 and the 5S can both run iOS 8. But obviously this runs it better. It has better hardware. It's built better for iOS 8. The same thing is going to come with the watch edition, and that's the interesting thing, really. At the end of the day, 10K for a watch. I can, as a watch collector, as a watch enthusiast, I can understand some people are going to spend $10,000. That's on the cheaper end for like luxury high-end watches. Some people will spend way more than that for sure. And I'm not saying it's cheap for everybody. That's way super expensive for a ton of people. But what I'm saying is that I can understand when people spend money on a Rolex or whatever. The watch edition is a different situation. Like I said, it's a smartwatch. This is the first time we've seen a quote unquote luxury smartwatch, needless to say. But hey, we'll have to see how this goes. Anyways, this completes my coverage of the Apple Spring Forward Watch event. I hope you enjoyed watching it live. I want to thank everybody who joined in the comments down below and chatted while we were doing it and interacted on Twitter, those sort of things. I apologize. My friend Mobile Phone 2003 of Duncan wasn't able to make it, apparently. He probably had something going on, which is no issue. But stay tuned. A lot more content coming up, an official recap and my full thoughts, as well as blog posts over at digitaldojos.com. So with that, guys, thank you all for tuning in.